It's just all about love and life and living in freedom. That's what it's all about for me now.
Welcome to the Rich Spinster Podcast. This is Alexis, and this is the first podcast of 2026. Happy New Year, everyone. It is 2026. It's a new year, and it's the same Trump. New Year, same Trump. I couldn't get my feet on the ground in the new year before hearing that Trump has had Maduro pluck the fuck out of Venezuela and said that we are essentially going to run Venezuela. Basically, they have no plan for this. There is no real plan. He said, we're going to run Venezuela. The U.S. is going to run Venezuela. How in the fuck are they going to run Venezuela when they can't even run the United States? We have all of these problems, all of these complicated issues that need to be resolved. And yet, the arrogance of this administration to think, oh, we're just going to go ahead and run Venezuela. Oh, listen, more than one thing can be true at a time. It can be true that Maduro is a dictator. It can also be true that the Venezuelan people are happy that he is gone. But it can also be true that we have no business interfering with their government. And the people of Venezuela have every right to celebrate. They have every right to be happy that their dictator is gone. But so what are we going to do with ours? Yes, he is a dictator, but that has nothing to do with the principle of the United States going into a foreign country and removing its government. But if you know anything about American history, you will know that this is what American imperialism looks like. This is not the first time we have assisted or directly been involved in overthrowing governments. Hell, that's how we got Hawaii. United States did it in Cuba. They did it in Iran. They did it in Afghanistan. They did it in Guatemala. They did it in the Congo. They did it in Iraq. They did it in Nicaragua. And now, Venezuela. And Mr. Numbnuts over there is making other threats to other countries. And why? The question is why. You think this has anything to do with drugs? This has nothing to do with drugs. No, the man has been pardoning drug dealers. Major drug dealers have been getting pardons. This has nothing to do with fentanyl. This has everything to do with oil. And if you believe that this has anything to do with drugs, then you must be snorting booger sugar off his flaccid cock. And look, they're telling you exactly that. If you look on Fox News, if you look at what Trump and them are saying, they are telling you this is really about the oil. This has nothing to do with drugs. They were just blowing boats out the fucking water just to give you all a storyline to follow. This coming from the America First crowd. Where are you? Where is the America First part? You can't even run shit in Washington. And you're trying to run shit in Washington and in Venezuela. And let's be clear, they don't give a fuck about the Venezuelan people. They don't give a fuck about the Venezuelan people having autonomy over their own country. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't even want Venezuelans in the country. Look, if you even look like you come from Venezuela, they want your ass out. So this has nothing to do with the freedom of the people. This has to do with American imperialism. And that's basically what they're saying on television. And what they know is that nobody's going to do shit about it. That's what they know. Because as we can say, Congress is doing nothing. Yo, those Epstein files must be bad. The Epstein files are so bad that this motherfucker was like, you know what? Let me throw a war in there. Let's be clear, he's a warmonger. And he wanted this. This makes men like Trump get hard. Nothing else makes them get hard. Not Viagra, not Cialis. Nothing else makes them get hard. But this gives them a little bit of a Woody. And that's what I'm calling all of them. Little Woody. Because we have literally so many problems in the United States. So many problems. Things that we need to address. And little Woody is starting wars without congressional approval. What the fuck? And this doesn't make America better, and it definitely doesn't make us safer. And look what we're doing to the relationships with our allies. This beating of the chest, this is the shit for movies. This isn't real life. If it's okay to just simply remove a dictator, Canada, come get him. Come get him. He's at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. He's up all night using Twitter. I hope this helps. Are there any rules anymore? We've violated international law, and apparently that's okay. We have toppled a government, and apparently that's okay. Nothing's getting better in the United States, and apparently that's okay. And also, like, what happened to America not policing the world? Remember that was the talking point of the Republican Party. The Republican Party was like, "Hey, we need to stay out of people's business. Hey, we need to worry about home. We need to put America first." The Republican Party was saying, "We are not the world's police. Fuck them." That's what the Republican Party used to say. Disaster after disaster after disaster with this administration. What do they decide to do? They decided to go fuck with Venezuela. So, yeah, Trump had Maduro plucked out of Venezuela. And who was surprised by this? Nobody who listened to Kamala Harris. Hell, nobody who listened to Donald Trump was really surprised by this. I don't even think Maduro was surprised. We knew he was a warmonger. We were told he was a warmonger. We said he was a warmonger, and ta-da, he's a warmonger. And here's the thing, we fucking told you it would happen. We told you it would happen. All of this could have been avoided if America hated Black women less and loved America more. And this message is for members of the United States Congress. If you are not a member of the United States Congress, feel free to just keep scrolling. First of all, to the United States Congress, fuck you. You are a bunch of motherfucking cowards. You are spineless, you're soulless, you're bereft of all morality. You were the kids that talk shit, and when it was time to fight because the kid you were bullying got tired of your bullshit and they were ready to square up, you got scared and told the teacher. That's who the fuck you are. You're flinching motherfuckers. I want you all to lift up your skirts and get acquainted with your fucking balls. Members of Congress, you don't love America, you love power. You have been bought by corporations and you're slow riding on corporate dicks. That's what you're doing. You're slow. Mike Johnson, okay? Mike Johnson, you're riding up to the tip. All of your asses need to be voted out in 2026. We're going to vote you all out, all of you, including you wishy-washy Democrats too. You're going to go too. Every single one of you, all of you, you got to go. Congress, you gotta go. Anybody who is not standing up for democracy in 2026, you gotta go. Mike Johnson, you gotta go. You're low lives, you're schmegma. Let's just face it, you're terrible human beings, and we're gonna vote you all the fuck out. And don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, okay? That's what's going to happen. We're gonna vote you cowards out, including cowardly Democrats, because you haven't been doing your job. Okay? If you worked at Burger King, your asses would be fired by now. Hell, if you worked at Walmart, your asses would be fired for now. And we know Walmart doesn't have any goddamn standards. Your customer service sucks. Consumer experience sucks. We want you out. Don't even look back. Once you're gone, don't even look back. We don't want to hear from you at that time. Don't call and don't write, because you're not trying to protect democracy. You're trying to protect yourselves. And here is the thing. Here is the thing. You're not protecting yourselves. Kneeling to a tyrant doesn't make the tyrant less of the tyrant. It makes them more of a tyrant. And it makes you more of a fool. And I'm mad for all of us who have to endure. And let's be clear, we have to endure. We cannot surrender our democracy at all. And so I'm trying to figure out, Congress, what are y'all doing? It is what it is. And we got to ride it. We've just got to ride through this mess. We got to ride it like Congress is riding corporate cock. We will look back at this time in history, and I guarantee you, people will deny that they ever voted for him. Let me tell you a story. that directly relates to this situation in our country. When I was in school, I'm going to change people's names here. But when I was in school, there was a girl that a lot of people used to pick on. And let's call her Jasmine. People used to pick on Jasmine. They would pick on her clothes, they would pick on her hair. And Jasmine was pretty quiet. She didn't say a lot to folks. She never caused a problem. She got out of people's way. She had her few friends, but she definitely was not popular for anything than being the girl the people picked on. I saw personally Jasmine get in probably 2 or 3 physical altercations. And what did she do? She covered her head. Jasmine didn't fight back. She didn't. She would say, stop. She would say, leave me alone. She would cry. And people would defend her, like, leave the girl alone. But there was this one particular girl. This one particular girl. Let's call her April. And April decided today is the day that I'm going to take out my frustrations on Jasmine. I'm going to beat Jasmine's ass. I'm going to embarrass her in the lunchroom. That is what I'm going to do. And April was a big girl. Jasmine was average size, but April was a monster for her age. And April went up to Jasmine and she hit Jasmine. And Jasmine, for the first time, erupted. Jasmine whooped April's ass all over that damn lunchroom. Mexican pizza flying all over the place. Milk all over the place. Jasmine whooped April's ass until she got tired. She beat her ass. Everybody talked about it. Did y'all see April get her ass beat? Oh my God, Jasmine beat her ass. They were in shock. I'm telling you that story for one reason. Because if you keep fucking with people, eventually they will fuck back. America better stay out of people's business. Hands off. How much power do you need? How much is enough? And here's the thing. Is there a plan? So you're taking over the oil. There is definitely going to be a financial benefit for this action. Are people going to get universal health care now? Are their premiums going to go down now? Are their farms going to be saved now? How is this benefiting the everyday person? And here's the thing. Even if it does benefit, it's still wrong. There needs to be a sense of right and wrong. There needs to be international law respected, not just when you want to. Because you see, how we treat others is how they may treat us. To the other countries in the world, please remember that 92% of Black women in this country did not vote for this shit. Okay, I want everybody to send a call out in every language. I want to hear this message go out to people of the world. It needs to be in Creole. It needs to be in French. Let it be in Spanish, in Portuguese, in Arabic, in Mandarin. I need you all to know 92% of Black women in this country did not vote for this shit. I'm telling you, I'm feeling like we're going to have a hip hop 2026 because that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling in my soul DMX. 2026, y'all going to make me lose my mind up in here. And all of these Republican women who are still supporting this bullshit move, bitch, get out the way. That's what I'm going to hear. I'm going to hear Ludacris all year. Every time I hear that Kristi Noem said something, I'm going to say, move, bitch, get out the way. Here's my question for you all. What is the best hip hop lyric that would describe the Trump administration? Go ahead and give me a hot 16 down below. Oh my goodness. And you guys, the First Lady of New York, let me just say, is stunning. She is stunning from every angle. She is flawless. Rama is absolutely stunning. And did you see what she wore on the day of inauguration? Beautiful. I was looking at her and I was like hearing that Cardi B song. I've been feeling like a bad bitch all damn day. If you ain't my bitch, you just a bitch in the goddamn way. Listen, that she had to be hearing that when she was looking in the mirror because baby, she is absolutely beautiful. That is one thing I am so excited about in 2026. I'm happy for New York. I'm happy for New York. I'm happy that they voted in a Democratic Socialist. I'm happy that the people are feeling hopeful. And I'm so excited about what is to come for New York City. And what I really want is for people to see the difference. I want them to see the difference. But Rama, my God, she's stunning. Listen, if Zara never fucks up, give me a call. You know, the funny thing is, she reminds me of Michelle Obama in some ways, not in her looks, but in her impact of style. It is 2026, everyone. It is 2026. I hope everyone had a wonderful new year. Did y'all spend time with your MAGA relatives during the holidays? Are you all still in contact with your Republican relatives, the ones that still support, if they still support? How'd that go? I think it's really interesting because families are so different. Everyone's family is different, and we all have different family dynamics. And we all handle those dynamics differently. And so I always wonder, how do you handle that? How do you muster the patience and the empathy to have your Christmas ham with your MAGA relatives? Or did you stay home? I hope you stayed home. Listen, I'm a big proponent of peace. Whatever's going to bring you peace, I think that you should do. So, kudos to people who decided that they didn't want to be a part of the madness and they stayed home, or they created their own traditions during the holidays, during Christmas and during New Year's, because I don't know how some of you have been able to navigate that. I don't know, but kudos to you for making it through. That's all that I can say. I had a very quiet holiday and it was so nice. It was so nice to, first of all, New Year's Eve is my favorite holiday. My absolute favorite holiday. And I think it's because as a child, we had so many New Year's Eve parties. So many people would be at our home, and it has always been my favorite holiday since I was a kid because of that. And so for New Year's, I always stay home. I never go out New Year's Eve. I've been out maybe once or twice in my life on New Year's Eve, and each time I was out, I regretted it. I thought I should have just stayed home. I love being home on New Year's. I get dressed up, I have hors d'oeuvres, I have champagne, and it's really a time where I do reflect on the year. I don't necessarily make resolutions, but I do a lot of reflection as the new year approaches. And I think about the things that I've experienced during the year. I think about the things that I've overcome during the year. I think about things that I would have done differently. I think about opportunities that I've taken advantage of and maybe some that I didn't. And I spend a lot of time in quiet, sacred reflection. And that's how I do it. And that's what feels good for me. And I think about this past year and all of the things that I experienced this past year, some really difficult and some really amazing. Some some things I would do over again and some things I would do differently. But it was not a horrible 2025 for me. It really wasn't horrible. I did so many things that I wanted to do. I pampered myself a lot, particularly at the beginning of the year when I really needed a reset in life. And I spent time at the St. Regis in New York City and pampered myself. And I spent time with friends and reconnected with people. I got to see Denzel Washington on Broadway, which I really was is a highlight of my life. There were so many things that I got to do this year, and I didn't really think about it until the new year was approaching. And I thought, wow, I've really done a lot this year, and a lot of prioritizing myself in ways that I hadn't before. And I feel like 2025 was a really transitional year for me. for so many reasons. It was a transitional year. And I'm sure for some of you, you were thinking the same. Every year I see people post online about how this year sucked and this year should burn and, things like that. And I've felt that from time to time, but I've never not felt grateful. And so that's something that I really felt as 2025 closed. I felt a lot of gratefulness and I gave myself a lot of grace. In years before, I probably wouldn't have given myself that same grace. And so I was able to close out 2025 and feel hopeful. I felt proud. It felt complete. And it also felt like many things were over. Things that needed to be over were over. So that's how it went. I ate my fucking cheese ball. I drank my champagne. And I said hello to 2026. We in this bitch now. We are here. So we are in 2026 firmly, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Rich Spencer podcast. This podcast started in 2025. It was one of my favorite things to happen in 2025. I look forward to you all continuing to take this journey with me and to share the podcast and like the podcast on social media so that the word gets out about it more. Thank you for listening to the Rich Spencer podcast. You can listen to the podcast on everywhere you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe on social media at Rich Spencer on all platforms. And I will talk to you soon. Happy New Year, everyone.